Well, we're involved in traditional financial planning as well as special needs financial planning. So you look at everything that they've done, and then from there you start to map out a plan that makes sense for their objectives and their future for both individuals and then families with children with special needs. Well, it's approach looking at the beginning, looking at a family situation or individual situation, looking at all the various things they've done. If you take it from a standpoint of their financial standpoint, what you're looking at is their asset base, their tax situation, and further on, what they will be looking to do with what their objectives are. With most individuals, what will occur is they'll call us, we'll talk on the phone 15, 20 minutes, try to give them an idea of what they may be looking for or what type of situations they've been involved in. Then what we'll do is we'll try to give them a few generic type of solutions, options that are available to them so that they come in with an expectation that situations can be solved and so forth. Then we'll get an email out to the individual, the listing of the various type of material we'd like them to bring. And the reason for doing that is we'll get much more done at the meeting, being able to look at the types of things that they've done in the past. Because oftentimes, if you have a couple that's in their 50s or 60s, they'll have no idea of some of the things they did in their early years when they were married, as far as employment and so forth. In the industry, there are very few people that have taken the education. I'm actually what's called an accredited estate planner by the National Association of Estate Planners. I did that years ago as just part of the growth of myself within the industry. And what we did 8 years ago was we sent my daughter-in-law to law school. And the reason behind that is in the area of special needs planning, there's a lot of legal work that's done for families. Such as the point in time when a young adult hits the age of 18. There's something called guardianship, whereby it's a process that you have to go in front of a family court to be able to handle medical and various other things with which you did for the individual when they were younger. And then there are also legal documents for an individual with special needs called special needs trust. And one of the biggest issues that I've found over time is finding attorneys that are versed in doing those kind of legal proceedings on a regular basis, because they are complex, and if it's done wrong, they'll have dramatic impacts on the special needs individual and what their future benefits would be. I hold all the same licenses as say somebody at Merrill Lynch or an independent advisor from the standpoint of insurance licenses and investment or securities licenses that you have. But in my instance, what happened, my undergraduate degree is in special education. So my plans were always I would have taught, but in the early 80s, salaries were very poor, so I ended up getting out of education because my wife would not have been able to stay home with our children. That was always something that was planned. She was a teacher as well. And then I found, as I got into the financial industry in �84, that there was a big need still for these families and what goes on and where can people go to find these services. So I spent a lot of time honing my skills through the years, back to school. And so since 1984, we've actually assisted over 4,000 families across the United States with individuals with special needs. Being able to take very complex scenarios that are very emotional for the individual that are involved. I mean, think of for a moment, imagine to yourself what it's like for, a set of parents that get a diagnosis of a child, say Down syndrome, autism, muscular dystrophy, whatever that may be. They're thrown into a new arena that they know nothing about. So they're dealing with many medical providers. Then ultimately they'll be dealing with school systems. And there are a lot of different types of accommodations and needs that child may need to be able to meet their full opportunities and the prospects with their life. So individuals and parents or caregivers in these scenarios are always under the gun. So they're always in a situation that they're battling a system they're exhausted, and everything else in between. So you need to be able to bring them back to a level playing field so you can build on what is ultimately needed for that disabled individual so they can, prosper throughout their life.